So success in life is all about decisions. It's about decisions. It's about choices. It's about habits, and it's about consistency. Remember, we get to choose how we feel. We get to choose how we react. We get to choose how we respond. This doesn't mean it's easy, and we don't get it wrong sometimes. But 99% of things in life are a choice or a decision. And choices and decisions then form habits. Show me your habits, and I will show you your results. So everything that has happened in your life up until this point, whether you decide to accept this or not, whether you want to understand that life happens for you, not to you, whether you want to be a victim or a warrior, is a choice. And it comes down to the decisions you have made. Now, very many people get this misconstrued. So they might say, I was in a toxic relationship. That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my choice. That wasn't my decision. Well, it kind of was, because you still chose to be in that relationship. You chose to be in that situation. And when I went through this in therapy and Nikki worked on it with me, it triggered the hell out of me. And it also triggered the hell out of other people when I said this. And she got to me to repeat it over and over and over again until I accepted it. There are obviously some extreme situations where it isn't applicable, but generally any pain that we are experiencing, we have in some way attracted. That is very difficult to get your head around. It then also might be the option of, well, we made the decision to allow it to continue. Remember this, right, guys? People will only ever treat us the way we allow them to treat us. So if we sometimes have a decision of allowing people to treat us in a certain way, that becomes our responsibility. That doesn't mean it's not bad at the time. That doesn't mean that we're at fault. We're not. But again, it's the lesson of, okay, I got the lesson of I can't allow people to treat me like this because that happens. I'm going to forget about the situation and the negativity around it. I'm going to understand that I attracted that pain because I allowed it to happen, and I continued to allow it to happen, maybe because I wasn't quick enough out of the blocks to deal with it. And that would build the same into food. Okay, if we're massively overweight, it will come down to habits and decisions with food. And the pain that we are in from being overweight and unfit, we attracted by our own habits. So we have to take responsibility. I discussed this yesterday. Responsibility. We have to take ownership. And where we are is a direct result of the decisions, no matter how awful the things that have happened to us are. And remember, it's about forgiveness. Forgiving even the most horrific of abuse is the only way you can free yourself of the memory of the pain. So accept the lesson and move. Accept the gift and move. Understand that life happens for you, not to you. You are still in the driver's seat, not the passenger. So where we are in any area of life, in relationships, in business, in fitness, in fat loss, in finance, in fun, in freedom, is a direct result of the decisions and choices we have made up until this point. And again, that doesn't mean we might not have really been in control of our decisions at the time. Fuck me. There's the first F-bomb. I spent 20 years of my life completely out of control. Not really in control of the decisions. Maybe I didn't want to admit that I was in control of them, that I wasn't. But again, it doesn't make it my fault, because I've now accepted the gift and the lesson, and I've understood that life happens for me, not to me. So decisions become habits, and habits become results. Now, if we make the same decisions and we have the same thoughts and the same beliefs and the same actions and the same results, this is going to lead to the same experiences and the same outcomes. Sometimes we might need to be given the lesson 3, 4, 5 times. I love this phrase. The only way that some people can learn to tie their shoelaces is by smashing their head into the pavement. And that's applicable to myself in the past and so many people. It's like, how many times do you need to be given this lesson, Lee, before you realize it's not a good idea? How many times do you need to make that decision before you realize it was the wrong decision? And it takes, some people get it instantly, some people it takes them years. But the same decisions, the same outcomes will always lead to the same experiences. Different decisions, different thoughts, different beliefs, different outcomes, different experiences. And this is where people get it wrong. So many people expect to continue making the same decisions, having the same thoughts, the same beliefs, the same actions, doing the same things, and expecting a different outcome. And I do believe it was Einstein that described that as insanity. Just like myself, Luke Birch, and Stephen Brooks having a scrap over some hair gel and a comb. That would be insanity. Back to the point. So these habits, these decisions, these outcomes, it can build into different areas. And I'm going to tell you a typical example. Do you know how many lads eat the same diet every week? They go to the gym every Monday and they do the same chest routine with the same reps and the same weights. And they probably call it something like International Chest Day because you can't get on a bench press for love nor money on a Monday. And then they complain that they're not growing because they keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. Do you know how many people drink wine every day, every weekend, or beer, or whatever they choose? And then they complain that they're depressed, that they're anxious, that they're stressed, that their sleep's all over the shop, that they're overweight, that they actually drink because they are stressed. No, you are stressed because you drink. Because when you drink, you don't sleep well. Then you don't plan. Then you eat crap. Then you become overweight. Then you become more stressed. Then you become more anxious. It's a vicious cycle. So, but again, people keep making the same decisions and expecting a different outcome. So these decisions and these choices and these actions, these are the most critical part of your personal development and wherever you are on this journey that we call life. Wherever the direction of your life is going is being based on the thoughts, decisions, outcomes, expectations, and experiences you are having. But these all come from the habits, the choices, and the decisions. And until you can accept that you are in charge of the decisions and that how you feel is a choice doesn't mean you can control it 100% of the time, you will continue to stay stuck because you'll be saying, hey, I'm just in the passenger seat. Life happens to me. I'm not in control. Does that make sense? Drop me a yes if that makes sense so far. It's hard. If you've got a habit of making bad decisions, it's hard to accept. Do you know what? I need to accept I made that bad decision. And trust me, I could write a book on bad decisions that I made. And for years, no, it wasn't my fault. That's not my fault. I wasn't in control. I did that because of X. I was this way because that person treated me that way. No, I was that way because I allowed that person to treat me that way because I didn't have the balls to have an awareness of it sooner and stand up to them quickly. Okay? I drank because my mum died when I was 6 months old. No, Lee, you were a liar. I drank because I chose to drink, because I made a decision to drink. And you have to go through that ownership period. Like I got into fights and punched people's heads in for fun because of what happened to me with my dad and my stepmom because I was angry. No, Lee, you made a decision to do that, a very bad decision. Ownership, responsibility. You have to understand we are in charge of what we do, the decisions we make, the habits we create, and these will lead to the outcomes. So we can make the decision to get out of bed early and go to the gym. We can make the decision to plan the day. We can make the decision to go to bed early and not watch Netflix. We can make the decision to listen to audiobooks rather than fiction. We can make the decision to be grateful. We can make the decision to ask for help. We can make the decision to end the toxic relationship or the toxic career. We can make the decision to have the difficult conversation. We can make the decision to set the goals. We can make the decision to do the work or not do the work. I've been nowhere near working at capacity recently. Far too many hours sat on the couch watching crime documentaries and whatever other rubbish there is. Okay. Attitude is a choice. Your attitude is a decision. Your PMA is a decision. Positivity is a decision. These are decisions and choices, but we have to become aware of who we are and where we are. Because we can make the decision to do all those positive things, or we can make the decision to stay up late. We can make the decision to hit snooze. We can make the decision to eat rubbish, skip the drink, booze, take drugs, smoke, get into fights, blame, complain, justify, or we can make the decision to take responsibility and ownership. It's a choice, it's a decision, and it will lead to your future. We can choose to work hard and be disciplined and be consistent or not. Okay, we can choose to stay in the career that we hate or not. We can choose to stay in the toxic relationship or not. We can choose to chase or we can choose to attract. We can choose to work the extra mile or we can choose to quit early. We can choose to give up after the first attempt or we can choose to carry on until we hit the goal. We can choose to have the difficult conversations or not. But these choices and decisions that we make today and every day afterwards, from the second we get up until the second we go to bed, the decisions and choices that you make that are your responsibility will lead to your overall progress in life, happiness, and results. And the best thing is, this is where so many people go wrong. I'm actually going to re-deliver the training on the not, who remembers the not to-do list? It's in the guides, in the archives, if not. So it was from I think it was one of Ryan Holiday's books, Ryan Holiday. And he talks about what's called non-growth habits. So when I delivered this training, I was looking at my life, right? And I thought, right, rather than what do I need to add, what mentor do I need, what coaching program do I need, what lead generation strategy, what gym routine, whatever do I need to add, subscribe to, get around, do more of to get where I want, I was like, actually, what do I need to stop doing that's become a habit? And I listed 19 things. 19 things that if I just stopped doing them, when I'd realized I'd done it, my entire life was going to skyrocket. Stop making excuses was one. Stop drinking was another. Stop doing rubbish DJ gigs for 50 quid just because I knew it was going to be a great party that would then have a knock-on consequence on my energy for 3 days. Stop making where I am other people's fault. Stop blaming, stop complaining, stop justifying. Stop putting training before work. Stop getting up without planning the day. There were so many things that I just had to stop doing them. And I will do that training as well. So again, think today, what do you need to stop doing? What non-growth habits have you picked up? What can you put on the not to-do list? So imagine that. Imagine the energy consequence of that. God, I don't have to do anything extra on top of what I'm doing at the minute to skyrocket my success. In fact, I just have to do less and stop doing some of the stuff that I've picked up the habit of doing, which has become a decision and a choice, or it was a decision and a choice, and now it's become a habit because I've done it repetitively after time. So success in life, in any area of life, in business, in body and being, in fun, fitness, finance, freedom, and everything in between, will come down to the sum of the decisions that you make, the sum of the choices that you make consistently over time. You're not going to have a drink one day and become an alcoholic. You're not going to go to the gym one day and get fit. You're not going to skip the gym one day and lose all your gains. It's about consistency over time, which is what we're going to come on to. So these choices create your habits. Okay. And this can be your attitude, can be your mindset, it can be your planning, it can be your action. But each and every morning, you have a decision to make. We went through this in Mindset is Everything, didn't we? And we went through it in the Best Project We'll Ever Work On Is You, which is the last 2 videos. You have a decision to make. You can either continue to sleep with your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your passions and desires, and everything that you've always wanted and you truly deserve because you are enough and you always have been. And my granddad said it, so it's got to be true, that you can be, have, and do anything that you want if you are willing to put your mind to it. Remember, that's what we want. That's what we said yesterday. Screw manifestation. As Dan Meredith would say, a finger up to the law of attraction and a thumbs up to action. So we can't just see it, think it, believe it, achieve it. See it, think it, believe it, get inspired, do the fucking work. Sorry, second F-bomb. Are you with me? And it goes back to what my granddad said. He didn't just say, boy, you can achieve anything you want. Boy, you can achieve anything you want if you are willing to put your mind to it, if you are willing to do the work. So we can get up and get out of bed and chase those dreams, or we can continue to sleep with them, make excuses, hit snooze, and create a reason or lie in our own head about why it's different for us, how it's different for us, how it's different for other people, and keep telling us that convenient lie that makes it easy for us to quantify the fact that we didn't do the work. Again, how do I know that? Because I did it for many years. And it's not about being perfect. Perfectionism is the lowest level of fear. Speed to market beats perfection every time. Effort and consistency trumps talent. I guarantee you this, right? If the most talented man or woman in the world doesn't have resilience, grit, mindset, effort, commitment, the willingness not to give up, the willingness to do the work when no one's watching, the willingness to do the work when they don't feel like doing it, which is what true mental performance is, then the person who does with half the talent will destroy them every time. I'm not a talented runner. I just have grit and resilience and a will that I'm not going to give up until I get what I want. That's the difference between winning and losing, not talent. Granted, you combine talent with that, i.e. someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, and you have the world-class individual because he has pure talent and he has tenacity, grit, and a work rate that will 10x any footballer in the world, which is why he became the best footballer in the world. But consistency and discipline and grit and the willingness not to give up and not to be a victim and to be a warrior and to understand we're going to get punched in the face, but we have to get back up and keep going because that's what winning is. We'll always win. You can have talent without any of these things and you will still get nowhere. But again, we're back to these decisions and choices. Going the extra mile is a choice. I had the choice after I failed my first attempt on, 89 miles. Everyone was saying, Lee, you don't need to do it again. That's a great effort. You did phenomenal. The fact that you even got to 89 miles after rupturing your Achilles on 75, I think it was. I walked that from 75 to 89 to complete 24 hours. That was a decision. Nobody would have had anything to say if I'd just quit at 75 miles when I ruptured my Achilles. Nobody would have had anything to say if I'd have not tried the challenge again. And again, some people will lead you into doing this. Oh, babe, don't worry about it. You did your best. You did great. No, it wasn't good enough. And that's integrity. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it if I don't win the first time, if I don't succeed the first time. It means I'm going to do whatever it takes to get what I want, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many setbacks I hit. Effort is a decision. Attitude is a decision. Hard work is a decision. Saying no is a decision. Going the extra mile is a decision. Quitting or deciding to carry on is a decision. Doing extra is a decision, but I give you this. There are no shortcuts. We know this. The people that fail in life are the ones that keep looking for the easy road, the path of least resistance. How do I get to where I want as quick as possible with doing as little work? This is why they keep getting burned on courses, burned on business courses from some junior Facebook ad 15-year-old bellend who's barely got pubes sitting in his bedroom being a six-figure consultant because he's learned how to do Facebook ads. But then they prey on people who want quick, easy results. Oh my God, this guy's telling me I can do this and I don't even have to do anything. And he's going to do it all for me. All I need to do is transfer him this money and I'm going to be a millionaire. People making millions conning people like that. Same in fat loss. Who wants to go with a guy who's preaching consistency, discipline, sustainability, hard work, slow roll results that last forever over the guy who's claiming that you can shred like 6,455 pounds of body fat in just 3 weeks if you join my plan? Just click here and send me 97 pounds. Millions of them. People are falling for it because they know how the human mind works. Everyone is looking for quick, easy, and effortless. So that's a decision. It's a decision to be willing to go the hard road, willing to do the extra miles, willing to say, I'm going to seek out discomfort. I'm going to seek out pain. Pain is my friend. I'm going to seek out the path of most resistance and push through it because I understand that life is a contribution-based experience. And the more I give, the more I'm going to get. So I don't want quick and easy because quick and easy leads to nowhere. And I understand that as long as I keep looking for quick and easy, the universe is going to keep giving me a big smack in the face to show me that the world doesn't work that way. And the person who is willing to go the extra mile, the person who is willing to not quit, the person that is willing to do more, the person that is willing to get up when it's cold and dark, when other people want to stay in bed, choose to stay in bed, make a decision to stay in bed, make a decision to quit, is always going to win. Mike Tyson said this in one of his podcasts or interviews that I watched. That was his mindset. He said, he was willing to do more than anyone else. And that's why he became world champion. He said, if all the other fighters are going to get up at 4, I'm going to get up at 3. If they're going to get up at 3, I'm going to get up at 2. If they're going to get up at 1, I'm just not going to go to sleep. Because he had this mindset. He was always willing to be more, do more, and have more. And that's why he won. That's why he succeeded. But it's about focusing on these daily efforts, daily decisions, daily habits, and get away from this. Like, I'm not even thinking about running 200 miles. I'm thinking about what daily habits do I need? Well, one, I need to stretch, work my core and do mobility every single day for the next 9 months. That's come as gospel from my physio, or I won't complete it. That's going to heal the current injury, but I've got a clean bill of health to start running again now. I have to not miss any workouts. My nutrition has to be perfect. I have to have my bloods and my lactate and everything tested once a month to make sure I'm in the optimal place. I'm not going to complete that with mindset. You can batter through 100 miles. You are not going to batter through 200 miles. 100 miles mindset will get you through with a lot of pain, which I went through. 200 miles, never, ever going to happen. This is why only 43% of people complete it, because they think they can just smash it. Different strategy. I need to understand to sleep before I get tired. I need to understand to eat before I get hungry. I need to understand to rest before I'm tired, to hydrate before I'm thirsty. And I need to put all these little daily habits and outcomes in a long 9-month string that are going to lead towards that outcome. But if I'm just thinking about the outcome now, if I'm just thinking about the prize, that's not what's important. Okay, it's about the journey and not the destination. I'm more focused on the person that I need to become to run 200 miles, not 200 miles run. Who do I need to be? What daily habits do I need? What do I need to stop doing? Well, I need to stop skipping stretching for a start, or I'm going to get injured before I even get through the next 3 months. But again, this is when it comes down to the grit. It's enjoying the process, not the prize. Like I said, the journey, not the destination. But creating the habits is what leads to this. And the biggest one where I still see people not succeeding is they're not planning their days. I haven't planned today anywhere near as strategically as I should have done. And I'm probably doubtful that any of you have either. So that's where we all need to improve. We all need to develop the habit of better planning with food, better planning with training, better planning when we do our mindset work, better planning what time we're going to go to bed, what time we're going to get up. Planning, 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 because either we run the day or the day will run us. And this is where it comes into it as well. It's like I said, it's about attracting, not chasing. So stop chasing success and start focusing on the person that you need to become to succeed. What habits do you need? What choices do you need to make? What decisions do you need to make? And what do you need to remove? And then commit to them relentlessly. And that is what will create success. Plan your day. Plan every day. Plan your life. Work hard. Be willing to work harder than anyone else. Be willing to say no when everyone around you chooses to be average, chooses to be weak, chooses to follow the crowd. But remember this, consistency is king. And a great line that I'm going to finish on. So everything we've talked about today, it has to be done consistently. And a great line from Jeff Cunningham, who is Nick Bare's running coach, he always says, consistently good beats occasionally great. It's not about being sporadically fantastic. It's not about the big hits, the big wins. Yeah, they're nice. But it's the small steps consistently over time that will add up. And this is even in your fat loss or muscle building journey. It's not about the fat that you need to lose. It's about the person that you need to become. And it's not about what the scales say. It's about, am I consistently doing 10,000 steps if I want to lose body fat? Am I consistently tracking my food and I'm in a calorie deficit? Am I consistently weighing my food, or have I started winging it and guesstimating? Have I started doing this bullshit thing of, I don't need to use Fitness Pal because I know what I eat every day? That's a lie you're telling yourself, because I'm not that good, so you're not. Without a shadow of a doubt. Unless we've got any secret nutritionists in here. So it's about getting these things. Am I consistently checking in every week? Am I consistently asking for help when I need it? Am I consistently working on my mindset? Because if I understand if my mind's not in the right place, I'm never going to track food or do the work or check in or be consistent or do the training, because I haven't got my mindset first. Because I watched yesterday's training and I understand that mindset is everything. And I've committed to understanding that the greatest project I will ever work on is myself. Guys, I love you all. Have an absolutely fantastic day.